Hello, it's me, old Russ. There are many things we can learn from the election, aren't there? And we're sort of settling down a little bit now, and we're trying to sort of look at why do we generally feel upbeat and optimistic? Well, primarily, I suppose, because it looks like the way that the power that the media formerly had is altering. Young people are more engaged, and a politician with integrity and authenticity is having an impact. I think the stuff like JME being involved, Lily Allen, it sort of seems like a new coalition of youth around an elder. Now, contrast that with the politics of yesteryear, the sort of rinsed out vampiric greyness of Theresa May, who I'm actually starting to feel quite sympathetic towards, just on the basis of humanity, of just like, that is a human being like us, and like the vilification of her, especially after that mad running through fields of wheat.
What's the naughtiest thing you ever did?
I have to confess, when me and my friends sort of used to run through the fields of wheat.
Even that made me feel for her a bit. It made me feel that's a person who's trying to be something that they're not, and trying to understand what this is, trying to conceal who they are, a baffled person, and that is a human being. I've sort of felt like, I know a lot more is at stake when it's about the NHS and all that kind of thing, but just watching it, I felt a bit bad for her. So let's see how we feel, because I've not watched this speech, because I don't do stuff like that. So here I am reacting to Theresa May's peculiar victory speech, which has been achieved, of course, as a result of a dubious alliance with the DUP. Check it.
I have just been to see Her Majesty the Queen, and I will now form a government that can provide certainty and lead Britain forward at this critical time for our country.
It's critical because you keep doing mad shit. I mean, now it is just, it's been oft said, but the Brexit thing, now this, you start to wonder what this loose confederacy of blue nitwits is actually about. I mean, like the David Cameron and the George Osbornes, particularly in light of a figure in deserved prominence like Corbyn and John McD and now let's face it, Diane Abbott, like sort of people that have been doing this shit for ages and ages, that have fought and had to hold on to their integrity, surviving the Labour Party that mutated itself into sort of conservatism light in order to get power, and keeping hold of their principles throughout that. We are now dealing with astonishing people with integrity. I've reframed it, the whole bloody thing in my head overnight. These people, they're starting to look mental and ridiculous, even though they're still in power. It's over. In a way, it's a bit like the tobacco industry. They're killing their customers. We don't want anyone to buy fags anymore. Why is that? Because people that buy fags keep dying of fags. There's no one to vote Conservative anymore, because living in a society without compassion and love kills you.
This government will guide the country through the crucial Brexit talks that begin in just 10 days, and deliver on the will of the British people by taking the United Kingdom out of the European Union.
I also think they've made that mistake that John Cleese talks about. Like they're sort of going, that whole strong and stable business was about, I think actually what they thought they'd get away with is that there's a sort of joyless solemnity. But joyless solemnity is not strong and stable. Watch Jeremy Corbyn deal with Paxman. Watch Jeremy Corbyn dealing with Andrew Neil. That's a man who's been through the mill so many times that he just knows how to handle those people. It don't bother him no more. Well, you can say that if you want. So that's what you want. He is Obi-Wan. He is an elder. That's precisely what you need.
It will work to keep our nation safe and secure by delivering the change that I set out.
Delivering the change I set out. I knew this would happen. I was doing this on purpose. It's sort of risible, isn't it? It's risible. David Baddiel, I saw, sort of put down a tweet of goes, after this, no vulnerability, no humility. It's the inhumanity. Sort of with Jeremy Corbyn, you keep seeing there are symbols of humanity throughout. The allotment, the jam, the photographs from the 70s of him, saying no apartheid, and the fact he don't want his missus dragged into stuff and he won't trot her out on the one show. Contrast dear Theresa trotting out on the one show with her husband. He's involved in dodgy tax havens. I mean, they're all doing the same mad stuff. That what it is we've seen analysis how do we be a bit more like Jeremy Corbyn? They'll be trying to do that now. She might bloody grow a beard or something. I just was tending my allotment the other day and I growed us this rhubarb. And then I killed it. Oh, no, Theresa, don't kill the rhubarb. It's like they're trying to do an approximation of humanity and humility. Well, not here, actually. It's brazen, man. Where is the humanity, the realness, the authenticity? Those things can't be faked. It's even when Donald Trump comes out, it's like, I don't care, I don't give a shit. However much you deplore the content of what he's saying, what you do notice, what registers, the mystery endeth here, reason that people are attracted to him, is because it's not bullshit.
Following the appalling attacks in Manchester and London, cracking down on the ideology of Islamist extremism.
Still peddling the fear, still trying to peddle it.
And all those who support it.
This is over. It's just a matter of time. I mean, they probably won't boot her out of office because they're trying so hard to look strong and stable. It's like some sort of marriage that's being kept together for the kids, but the kids don't want the marriage. No one involved in it wants it. The house has fallen apart. Who's this for? Who are you holding this together for? What dark overlord that none of the rest of us can see are you working for? And it's quite simply, it's capitalism. It's not complicated.
And giving the police and the authorities the powers they need to keep our country safe.
You gotta give the police and the authorities powers. We've all thought that. I mean, like, see, even when Jeremy Corbyn talks about, look, we need more police on the streets, you start to think of the police as like blokes and women that just want to do a job and want to help society, and they probably should get a bit more wedge and be looked after, probably. The powers and the authorities, suddenly they're stormtroopers, suddenly they're these faceless people. We need the powers to clamp down and crack up and smash in. Like, everything sounds like an assault on humanity, devoid of humanity. If you approach this psychologically, I start to think this is a person who's carrying deep personal grief and pain and needs love and to get out of politics.
The government I lead will put fairness and opportunity.
Her husband, we shouldn't have gone for that shot. That's so mad. And now let's cut to the profile. Her husband, oh God, we thought the one show might work.
Of course, boy jobs and girl jobs, you see.
There's boy jobs and girl jobs.
But now I'm going to have to stare at her back like I do in the kitchen.
At the heart of everything we do, so that we will fulfil the promise of Brexit together. And over the next 5 years.
For the next 5 years, it sounded like the beginning of Porridge. Norman Stanley Fletcher.
You have pleaded guilty to the charges brought by this court.
I will be in government for 5 years. No!
Build a country in which no one and no community is left behind.
This is making me lose. You know that thing at the beginning I said about her humanity?
What the country needs more than ever is certainty. And having secured the largest number of votes...
They're politicking even more. That's their way out of it. We've secured the largest number of votes, certainty more than ever. Just go, look, that was mental. I don't know why we've done that. We thought it was going to be better. It's blown up right in our faces. This is bloody embarrassing, but we are still the largest party, and this is how this system works. So we've done a deal with the DUP, still in charge. It's going to be bloody difficult now because we're in a less good situation than we were. Plus, the whole country seems revitalised by socialism, which we thought was over and done with. You can't blag people. You can't keep doing it now. There's different players in the game. They're still trying to do the old thing, innit? It's like turning out them old wooden tennis rackets going, oh, for God's sake!
It is clear that only the Conservative and Unionist Party has the legitimacy and ability to provide that certainty.
I refuse to believe that there isn't a part of her that's going, I'm really embarrassed about this and I really feel like upset because I had my dreams. And when I was finally becoming leader of the Tory party, all my life I've been trying to be leader of the Tory party. Now I am, and it's really horrible and I'm really upset. What has she done with that? Our whole way of understanding what a good politician is shifting, because it used to be that you would accept someone who's a bit fuddy-duddy because he seems to know what he's doing, we'll let him run things, he's always on about it, he knows about politics. And then suddenly it's like, I like this guy, he's so slick, hey baby, I'm in charge of your country. But now, like, this isn't going to wash, is it? This sort of stuff of people that don't seem like they understand what's going on. The thing is it's not an evolution in the direction of slickness, manageability, and media expertise. Although I'm sure that played some part in the election, like in the success of the election, and Momentum's great work and stuff. It's about authenticity and integrity. That's what people are responding to. That Jeremy Corbyn is. You can see the pictures of him. He's been doing it for 40 years. He's the real deal. This is the beginning of something new if it's built upon. People say, what does that mean? It means stay involved with the political process in whatever way you can and be heard. And when you oppose things, be disobedient. Have a listen to the Under the Skin with Yanis Varoufakis. Have a listen to that man, because that guy tells you the score. He's been double deep inside it and he knows it. He knows it. And he'll tell you, be disobedient when necessary and be ready to serve. It becomes kind of a spiritual idea, but that's how I see the world. That was some true news. You should feel optimistic and upbeat. Glory, glory, hallelujah. See you soon.